Hello, lovelies. So this will be my first official video on this channel, and I just want to give you a couple tips for if you're going natural, if you're just starting your natural journey, or if you've been natural. Either way it goes. I've been natural my whole life, never had a perm, chemicals, none of that stuff. So everyone's going to be at different stages, and obviously I don't know firsthand what it's like to transition, but hopefully these are some things that can help you out to make the process better. So first, I just want to say it is a process, and it'll take a lot of self-love and self-care as you're going through your journey. It is not easy, and it's not for the faint of heart. People join and leave like the wind. So don't try to rush your results because it just takes time. And don't compare yourself to other people because everyone is different. Even if you have the same grade of hair, even if similar lengths in hair, it's just you are different people. Your hair grows differently. God made you individually. So just stick with it. And know that it's just going to take time. It definitely will take time. And I know it'll get hard because you might see someone who posts videos every other day and it seems like their hair is growing 20 inches, and maybe you have a friend who's also going through the journey and their hair seems to be growing every other day. But just know your hair will move at its own pace and it'll get there. Take advice from other people with a grain of salt, and that includes things that I'm telling you right now. There are a lot of people on YouTube that have popped up over these last couple years, and hair natural gurus and all these terms that I don't even know who made up half this stuff that people are saying nowadays. You know, TWAs and braid outs and twist outs and whatever else. Like, we used to braid our hair, unbraid, and just call it crinkly. You know what I mean? So whatever suits you, but just take everything with a grain of salt. No one is a true master of anything, and some stuff will work and some stuff won't. And just because it works for someone else does not mean it'll work for you. And if you try it and it works, great. And if you try it and it doesn't work, that is okay. You can go to the next thing. Shampoos. So I know this movement about natural products and not having sulfates and parabens and all that stuff. I'm going to focus on sulfates because I do believe that you should use a sulfate shampoo. Shampoos are meant to clean your hair, and they will strip things out of your hair that should not be there. So if you're a person that only co-washes and, uses sulfate-free shampoos, I don't think those clean your hair as well as a sulfate shampoo does. And so I'm not saying use it every time, but at least once a month, if you're somebody that uses a lot of products in your hair, especially like a lot of gels and heavy things like that, I would definitely recommend using a sulfate shampoo. I use Fructis. It's always been great for my hair. Never had any issues with it. And I just feel like anytime you go to the hair salon, they use sulfates in their shampoos. So it's meant to strip your hair, but you're going to moisturize your hair after that. So don't get caught up on the fact that it's drying your hair out. It's a shampoo. It will. But how you take care of it after that is what makes a difference of your hair breaking off and being brittle and all that crap. And I'm going to post a video, a link below, of a woman who is a natural hairstylist, and she's natural herself, and she talks a lot through that stuff. So I agree with her 100% for the most part. So I'll post her link below so you can look at that. Getting into a routine is something that's very important as well. If you're out here willy-nilly trying to do stuff, you're probably not going to see the results that you want. And if you're checking every other day, you're definitely not going to see results, and you'll probably get discouraged. So just give yourself time, give your hair time to be able to go through whatever growth is going, or for it to get thicker or healthier. Because you'll notice it and it'll feel really good. Um, it'll be like one time you're washing your hair and you're like, oh, my curl pattern's changed. Or, oh, it's a little bit longer than the last time I just did it. So, little nice surprises like that are good. And your hair will change throughout your journey. So maybe it's super coily on the sides and kinky, and as it's growing and as you're getting into a routine with it, it might become a little looser or the opposite or whatever. And so when I first started my healthy hair journey, I would wash my hair once a week. Every other week I would use a sulfate shampoo, and the off weeks I would use just like a sulfate free shampoo. But every time I washed it, I would condition it and then deep condition it, then do whatever style it was. Now I've gotten a little lax in my hair care routine, so it might be every 2 weeks I wash my hair. If I straighten it, I might go a month or so without washing my hair, because sometimes not being in it is good for it too. So yeah, and I kind of said this earlier, but do what's best for you. You might try a style and it doesn't work. You might try to do weaves and it doesn't work. You might try to wear wigs and you love it. So just because it's working for other people, or just because it's a trend and you must do this for your hair to grow and it's the best thing ever, does not mean it's right, does not make it healthy for you, does not make it whatever. So just do what's good for you, and you'll figure it out as time goes. Another thing, obviously keeping your hair moisturized. I already said this, but this is very important. And I know whatever YouTube videos you watch, you'll see, and they're always talking about moisturizing your ends, which is true. Depending on your hair type, your hair might dry out quicker, it might not. So just making sure you moisturize it regularly, and if you have it straightened, using oils, like when you get up and unwrap it, or like right before you wrap it, at least putting a little bit of oil on your hair and keeping the ends moisturized. You need to keep your hair moisturized while it's straight, but I'll get to that later. Trimming your hair. So people are always saying that you should be trimming your hair every 6 weeks and a couple times a year, which is, to me, is just stupid, because you're gonna cut off all the hair that's growing. And unless you're out here rubbing your head against a tree and creating all these crazy split ends, you do not need to cut your hair that often. For me, I trim it once a year. Maybe if my ends are looking a little crazy, I might go through and clean them up a bit, but I do not trim my hair like that at all. But like I said, that's up to you. Viewer discretion. I just would not suggest trimming your hair that much. It just doesn't make any sense to trim your hair that much, especially if you want to see it grow. A lot of people have super long, crazy nails. So, well, I have naturally long nails and I need to cut them. But if your nails are polished, or if you have a lot of jewels and stuff on them, that might snag your hair. So if your nail polish is chipped, I would suggest taking it off, because it will snag your hair. Obviously, bedazzling your nails is going to get caught in your hair. And even jewelry, I need to make sure I take my ring off, because sometimes it gets caught in my hair and it snatches. So little things like that can also affect your hair. And back to straightening your hair. There is nothing wrong with straightening it. It is perfectly fine to straighten it. The thing just with doing it is that you need to make sure you're protecting your hair. So if you don't know how to straighten your hair, I would go to a natural beautician who does know how to do it without burning your hair off. But there's hella people who straighten their hair all the time, and their hair is long as crap and it's healthy. So just as long as you're not damaging it, it should be fine. I straighten my hair every couple months just to see how long it is, or just because I miss wearing it straight. but then it's straight, and I'm like, oh, I wish it was curly again. So yes, and just keep with it. It'll get hard. I'm sure people who had perms before they started a journey are gonna try and want to go back again. And this is my advice to you, okay? Perms for me are like the equivalent of a person who smokes cigarettes, but they work out every day. So you're healthy on the outside, and you give off the appearance of a healthy person, but you're literally killing yourself on the inside. So for me, that's just how perms are. You know, you can have healthy hair and it be long and luxurious looking, but you're still putting harsh chemicals on your hair. And I know someone who was saying like after they get their perms, their hair is in a very fragile state, so they have to take really good care of it, and it's just like too much. But that is up to you. Those are my tips. I do feel like I forgot something when I was talking about one of the other ones, but yeah, just it's a journey. It is about self-care and self-love. So just have a support system of people, especially if you know you're weak and you want to just chop all your hair off and you can't do it. Ask beauticians for certain styles or tips and things like that, and just please take everything with a grain of salt, because there's people out here doing stuff that I'm just like, what? Or people just make stuff up and they think it's the bee's knees or whatever. So yeah, but if you have any other tips, anything I forgot, let me know. Post it below. God gave you this hair. It's beautiful. Other people really wish they had hair like ours. There's a girl in my program who's Asian, and she was saying that she loves the jewels and stuff on my hair, and that she wished she had hair like mine so that she could do stuff like this too. We have very versatile hair, so just do what you can. And yeah, so thank you, and see you later.